Good evening. Welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away tonight. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window at this gorgeous picture that nature has provided for us today. This is the view from the Locatel Sky-Fi Cross Cam looking north up the Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful kiss of snow on the mountaintops. Pretty tolerable temperatures today too, just in the mid to lower 40s, but that sun makes it feel a lot warmer, at least to my skin. We're looking at very similar conditions into part of the weekend, but clouding up starting Sunday, moving through Thursday. Dan Kuntz is going to be along a little bit later on with all of the weather observations you will need to carry you through your Thanksgiving holiday. But now a few of the stories that we're following for you tonight. 6 more deaths in Chelan County have now been attributed to COVID-19, and the infection numbers are only getting worse. Confluence Health needs to hire dozens of nurses and other health workers to fortify its response to the pandemic. And a new report shows the Wenatchee River near Leavenworth draws thousands of people each summer and creates concerns for the community. But we begin tonight with a press conference. 8 months into the pandemic, COVID-19 is now pervasive in north central Washington, with more than 100 new cases and 6 more deaths announced just yesterday. Last night, local health authorities and elected officials held a press conference at the Locatel Event Center in Pybus Public Market to outline the threat and the road ahead.
Incidence currently is at 685 per 100,000 per 14 days. Many of you have probably heard that number before. That is the highest that we have had in Chelan and Douglas County since the beginning of the pandemic.
In north central Washington, as Malcolm said, we are now in our 3rd surge of COVID-19. The epidemic curves, as you saw, are nearly straight up. They are exponential. And we don't know where the top is. Over the last couple of weeks, we have seen a tripling of our daily phone calls to our COVID triage line. We are now up over 700 calls a day, and 2.5-fold increase in the number of people needing testing daily.
I was involved in the care of some of the sickest of the patients in our intensive care unit. Their lungs failed. Later on, their kidneys failed. I saw too many of them die from COVID-19. Too many of them look like my father, look like my family members. This pandemic affects our Latinx, Latino, Hispanic community in a disproportionate level because of the place we work. We are essential workers. We were not able to stay home.
I think about the upcoming holiday season. It would be best that we don't gather. And if you do, what we ask you is take all the necessary precautions that are available to you. Utilize public testing that we'll be providing for this coming up weekend prior to the Thanksgiving holiday. Take advantage of that. That way you know before you go that you're safe to gather with your friends and family. So I'm going to leave you with this. Every one of you have an opportunity to make a choice. You can choose yourself, you can choose for your family, or you can choose for your community. My plea to you is that you will choose for all 3.
And you can see full video of that hour-long press conference on our Facebook page or website, ncwlife.com. At that same event last night, Confluence Health CEO Dr. Peter Rutherford said the stress of the pandemic has driven many health workers out of their professions. The region's largest healthcare provider announced on Thursday it's offering temporary positions for licensed or certified registered nurses, nursing assistants, and lab technicians to help deal with the COVID-19 crisis in its hospitals and clinics.
So currently at Central Washington Hospital, we have somewhere, I believe, around 60 RN openings. And we have openings for about 30 nursing assistants. The ability to recruit is very difficult right now. The Wenatchee Valley College has a very nice nursing program, but they're not at a point of graduating anybody. There is one at Big Bend College in Moses Lake. They're in the same cycle. Our housing prices here in Wenatchee and this area are getting to the point where it is too expensive for nurses to be able to afford to live here. And so they will choose to live somewhere else. I think our best hope is going to be recruiting and people who live in this valley and choose to get trained and choose to get experience and then choose to come to work. But that's a years-long process.
As we mentioned earlier, 6 new Chelan County deaths from COVID-19 were reported Thursday by the Chelan-Douglas Health District. That brings the 2 counties' total coronavirus mortalities to 35 people since the pandemic began. The health district says 4 women, 3 in their 70s and 1 in her 80s, and 2 men, 1 in his 60s and 1 in his 70s, are the latest county residents to die from the virus. Now, coming up next, the city of Leavenworth looks at new ways to keep its tourist business active this winter. And local Congressman Dan Newhouse gets a new leadership job in the nation's capital. I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The tourist-dependent city of Leavenworth is trying to make it easier for businesses to move outdoors while the pandemic limits their indoor operation. Restaurants and other shops along Front Street and 8th Street can apply for winter special use permits to offer their services under canopies on the downtown avenues, which have been closed to vehicle traffic since the pandemic began. About 20 permits for outdoor use will be available. The move could help keep businesses active while they're not able to offer indoor seating due to the coronavirus. While a new report by Chelan County finds what Leavenworth residents already knew, swimmers, paddleboarders, and tubers are flocking to that neck of the Wenatchee River every summer. The report says this past summer they averaged more than 1,500 river users on a typical weekend day in August. Several hundred people float the river each summer weekday. Local residents say they're concerned about impacts like parking, trash, and public safety. The new report will be used to inform future management actions along the river. The county plans a public meeting to discuss the findings on December 9th. Well, 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse from Sunnyside will have a new role when the House of Representatives reconvenes next year, chairman of the Congressional Western Caucus. That caucus is a coalition of almost 70 House members from 35 states representing rural western districts. He takes over the chair from fellow Republican Paul Gosar of Arizona. Newhouse, who represents Okanagan, Douglas, and Grant counties, as well as the Tri-Cities, says he's looking forward to taking on the leadership position in the 117th Congress. He is currently in quarantine after a positive COVID-19 test earlier this week. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, the Chelan-Douglas Health District says it's gotten past the internal conflicts that plagued it during the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Also, Dan Kuntz will be along with the weather and sports. That and more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Mary Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday perfect home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Mary Maids today.
From the ocean to the mountains to the forest in between, vacation time can be a fun time. But not if your car breaks down. Call Global Car Care today. Have a service approved over $150 on your vehicle, and Global Car Care will donate an oil change service to one of our local heroes at Confluence Health. Look for more incentives online. Global Car Care cares about their community.
Welcome back. When this pandemic first came to the Wenatchee Valley, the Chelan Douglas Health District was thrown into crisis. In last night's forum, we asked key figures at that local health agency what they've done to rebuild and regain public trust. It was a bad beginning for the Chelan Douglas Health District. Last May, 2 months after Washington entered a state of emergency to deal with COVID-19, 3 members of its own governing board joined lawsuits to overturn Governor Jay Inslee's public health orders. The lawsuits went nowhere in court, but created friction between board members, Public Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler, and longtime Health District Administrator Barry Kling, who retired suddenly in June. It's now November, 8 months into the pandemic, and the Health District has gotten help from state incident management teams. Nathan Weed, a longtime public health expert for the state of Washington, is the second interim administrator for the district since that time, and the search is on for a permanent replacement.
Certainly, the Chelan Douglas Health District has faced a lot of challenges, and it was facing challenges prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. This COVID pandemic really did create a situation in which folks made some different choices about really whether or not this was what they were going to spend their energies and efforts doing. So yeah, there's been some turnover in the leadership positions at the health district. I have been invited here to help kind of get things on an even keel as we move through the pandemic. I feel that we've actually created a very solid capability in our newly forming COVID division, which is, it's not a big number of people, but it is at least 6 extra bodies that are focused solely on COVID. So I would say, yeah, I feel like this health district has come up on a nice even plane. They're able to do what needs to get done right now, and it's really going to take the community supporting them and working together with them to really continue that success on into the rest of this pandemic.
About halfway through this piece, around the June-July time, we did have a board leadership change. And so Dan Sutton became the chair of the board, and I became the vice chair of the board. And as we worked through the process, we saw an opportunity to be able to utilize expertise and bring in Nate, which we did do that, and basically had an opportunity to work hand in hand. We meet with the Department of Health every other week in conversation. We meet with the governor's office on the off week, and basically we have been in contact with them, in conversation with them from that point on. We have a vision for the health district. We actually created, as a part of the review process that was done by the state epidemiologist that came in, we've put together a coordinated policy group, and that group initially was meeting almost daily. We all have the same goal in mind, and that's to actually make this a functional health district that this community could be proud of and that this community can utilize for its public health needs in the future.
Now, with the weather outlook for tonight and this weekend, we turn to our old friend, Dan Kuntz. Dan?
Once again, hi everybody. Dan Kuntz filling in for Grant Olson, who's taking some well-deserved time off. And in case you're curious, that little weather thing that you just heard, I wrote that. Let's take a look at outside of our weather window here on what is another beautiful day here in the Wenatchee Valley. That's 2 days in a row. We're going to make it 3 days in a row, as a matter of fact, when we get through Saturday. Then a little bit of change on Sunday, a little bit more change on Monday, and Tuesday and Wednesday looking a tad unsettled before a beautiful Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday. It's looking pretty good, all things considered weather-wise. Beautiful view from our cross camera on another beautiful day. Those low clouds and fog kind of hung around a little longer today than they did yesterday. We also had a few more clouds today than we had on Thursday, but no big deal. It was a beautiful day, all things considered. We got all the way to 48 on Thursday. It was a beautiful day yesterday, and we're going to do it again today, and we did it again today, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. Beautiful view from our cross camera. All right, let's take a look at what's happening for the upcoming weekend. If you have outdoor, well, first of all, let's do the almanac. Yeah, see, I told you I'm not a weatherman. 45 today, just a little bit above normal. 42, as you can see, is our normal high, right around 41 or 42. 30 for the overnight low, right at the overnight low for normalcy. So it was basically a normal late November day. Record high, nowhere near that today, 62, and that overnight low, that's record low of 6 degrees back in that bitterly cold winter of 1985, and we had 9 hours and 6 minutes of daylight today. When we get together again on Monday, we'll be right at that 9-hour daylight. So we're getting days shorter and shorter, losing about 2.5 minutes of sunlight a day. Now we can jump ahead and take a look at some of the temperatures we're going to be expecting here on a Saturday. And again, if you have outdoor plans, you're in like Flint. It's looking really good. I can't wait to show you that forecast for tomorrow. Out in the basin, Moses Lake 44, 44, and Ephrata, as you can see, Quincy 43, Wenatchee 45. Little cooler up north in the Omak and Okanagan area. That's par for the course, of course. Lake Wenatchee will be a little bit above freezing, but not much, in 44 in beautiful Lake Chelan. So again, the temperatures really not very different from each other, considering how far apart, say, Omak and Moses Lake are, and yet they're only going to have a 5 or 6 degree difference for the afternoon high on tomorrow. So there you go. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts of it again. For the rest of the day today, lots of sunshine, light wind, no real wind to speak of at all, really, right through the extended forecast period. We are looking good. We're under the influence of a ridge of high pressure, but it's not particularly big. It's not strong, but it's big and strong enough to keep any of the bad weather away from us for the next couple of days. We do it again Saturday, lots of sunshine, no real wind to speak of. It's basically going to be a carbon copy of today. But Saturday night, things are going to start changing just a little bit, and by the time you wake up on Sunday morning, you're going to go, hey, what happened to the sunshine? Yeah, we're going to be in for some clouds on Sunday. Also a little bit cooler, right around 42 degrees, slightly above normal. We've been well above normal the last couple of days. More like normal temperatures on Sunday. The sun will be taking the day off, by the way, on Sunday. We move ahead to Monday, partly cloudy skies. Snow level is going to be up high enough, so we're not going to get any snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. I don't see that happening at all. Waterville, though, you could get a little bit of light snow, especially, they tell us now, on Tuesday night as we jump ahead. So Monday, partly cloudy. We jump ahead to Tuesday, mostly cloudy. Chance of rain here in the Wenatchee Valley. Again, the upper elevations could get a little bit of light snow. That snow level is going to hover right around the 2,000-foot mark, and then it's going to go sky high. It's going to go above 4,000 feet by the time we transition into Tuesday and Tuesday night. Partly cloudy skies. The big story really Tuesday is not going to be so much here. It's going to be up in the major mountain passes. They're expecting heavy snow for you Thanksgiving travelers on Tuesday night, and spilling a little bit into Wednesday. So if you plan on traveling over the mountain passes, you might want to wait till Wednesday for Thanksgiving, because things are going to be much easier, and Thanksgiving itself is looking fine. For the valley here, partly cloudy on Wednesday, slight chance of rain will be right around 44. It's going to be give and take between the sun and the clouds, and as we jump all the way ahead to Thanksgiving next week looks just fine indeed. Again, partly cloudy, partly sunny, give or take, whatever you want to be, and we'll be topping off on the holiday right around 44 or 45 degrees. So pretty quiet weather. All right, let's take a look at it. Again, 45 degrees, just a little bit above normal for our high temperature. We're looking at 31 for the overnight low. Saturday, lots of sunshine. We do it all over again, just, rinse and repeat. 45 on Saturday. Sunday is when the clouds start rolling in. We have a slight chance of some rain late Sunday afternoon. Don't bet on it, though, with a high of 42. Monday, chance of rain hovers right around 20%, high of 41. Best chance of measurable precipitation here in the Wenatchee Valley would be on Tuesday. Rain down below, light snow up above. No real snow accumulations for anybody because it's going to melt, as you can see. 46 for the afternoon high. Wednesday looking good, high of 47, above normal. All of these temperatures are above normal or well above normal, especially on Wednesday. And then for Thanksgiving proper, a high of 44 under partly cloudy skies. So it is looking good. All right, that's your forecast. We're going to come back with more. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color FX in Cashmere. Color FX offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kerry Condada. This is the 12th District TV show, aired 8 times every week on NCWLIFE TV. We cover business and politics like no one else does it because I've been there and done it. 30 years self-employed, 16 years in the House of Representatives, and 12 years running campaigns across the state of Washington. That resume means you're getting information you can't get anywhere else. This is the 12th District. I'm Kerry Condada.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show will bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, everybody. Dan Coons filling in for Eric Grandstrom on this Friday. Russell Wilson throwing 2 touchdown passes, benefited from an improved running game. Boy, we sure needed that. And the Seahawks beat the Cardinals last night, 28-21 in newly christened Lumen Field. Might as well get used to it now. Seahawks played better than expected on defense. They ended their 2-game losing streak. They're now 7-3 on the year. They're a half game ahead of the LA Rams. LA has Monday Night Football at Tampa this week. They're also a game ahead of the Cardinals, who dropped to 6-4 on the year. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals seeking a tying touchdown moved to the Seattle 27-yard line in the game's final minute, but then the drive stalled there, and Seahawks defensive end Carlos Dunlap sacking Murray on a 4th and 10 play with 34 seconds left. That sealed the deal. Coach Pete Carroll called it a walk-off sack. Carlos Dunlap called it something else.
Surreal, man. I honestly, you know, with the way that the sideline erupted, I could only imagine what it would have been like if the 12s were in there. You know, this team is very exciting. I'm happy to be a part of it. I can't tell you, you know, in more ways than none. I can't go into much detail, but like I said, it's super surreal. It's refreshing. I feel lighter, rejuvenated, and I'm excited to, you know, continue to go to work. They brought me here to do one job. I like to say that I'm happy that I was able to get it done.
No interceptions for Russell Wilson. We like that. He had a couple of touchdown passes, one to DK Metcalf and the other one to Tyler Lockett. Tailback Carlos Hyde, he ran for a touchdown for the Seahawks. Seahawks rushing for 165 yards on the game. And the defense, which entered last night's game ranked dead last in the NFL in total defense, held the Cardinals to just 314 yards, and the Cardinals matched their season low in points scored. Coach Pete Carroll, a happy coach after the game.
Really fired up about this game tonight. You know, our guys really wanted to turn things and get back on track. And even with all of the situations with all the guys in and out in the lineup and all that, it just didn't matter tonight. And the guys played really well across the board. The special teams were lights out for us. Great efforts and coverage and the kicks and all that. The defense did a really nice job tonight. Gave up 50-something yards rushing and kept them under wraps. You know, saved the penalties. You know, we really would have had a really big night tonight on defense. Offense played really efficient, no turnovers, which was great. 160-something yards rushing. Rush was really efficient tonight and really sharp. Ran well when he had his chances. You know, it was just a really good night of football, and it was great to see Carlos Dunlap, you know, finish it off on almost a walk-off sack, which was pretty cool and really fun, and great to see him continue to contribute and help us. I know that you've been hearing me talk about it, but we're getting well here soon, and we're going to get better, and we're going to be stronger, and we're going to be better for it, and we have a chance to really put together, you know, a good opportunity here for us by playing good ball week in, week out. So it's a big win playing in the division, and you know, to come out of it first place, that's a good deal for us, and we're fired up about it. A couple of days off too. Guys are going to get 3 days off, so it's a mini break for us, and we'll take advantage of that. We've got to kick butt COVID-wise, and then we'll come back and get going for the next week.
Hey, the Cardinals did their part. They gave us a fourth quarter safety. They got holding in the end zone. You're not supposed to do that. Seahawks out of the field goal after the ensuing free kick, and that led them to their 28-21 lead. And then right after that, of course, the Cardinals had their game-winning drive, which turns out wasn't a game-winning drive. That's good news. Seahawks return to the practice field on Monday. Next up for the Hawks, Monday Night Football on November 30th against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Spokesman Review is reporting this morning that Cougar quarterback Jaden DeLora has tested positive for COVID-19 and is not going to play tomorrow night when the Cougars head down to the farm to take on the Stanford Cardinal. Redshirt sophomore Cameron Cooper and redshirt freshman Gunnar Cruz, they're listed as the potential backups to DeLora on the depth chart. Now, if DeLora is placed in 14-day quarantine, that means Wazoo's quarterback will not be available for the Apple Cup on November 27th. Washington State travels to California. They'll take on Stanford tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. You can watch that game on FS1. And the 1-0 Washington Huskies will take on the 0-1 Arizona Wildcats at Husky Stadium on Saturday night. And you can watch that game on Fox or not. It's entirely up to you. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday. Jefferson, back to you.
Dan, thank you so much. Finally from us tonight, a Wenatchee man has been arrested for that hit-and-run accident in a Wenatchee crosswalk on Monday that injured a 57-year-old Wenatchee woman. Wenatchee police say 57-year-old Timothy Shales has been booked into the Chelan County Jail, where he faces a felony hit-and-run charge in addition to other charges. Police say they were able to identify Shales' vehicle from surveillance footage from a business near 5th Street and North Emerson Avenue where the woman was struck. The victim underwent surgery earlier this week for a broken ankle and also suffered rib injuries. Now let's check in again with Dan Kuntz for what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. How you going, Dan?
Thanks, Jefferson. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend coming up. Come Monday on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, I'll be talking to Scott Devereaux, the head football coach of the Wenatchee High School Panthers. Obviously, everybody is affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, high school athletics. No exception to that. We'd all like to see high school football being played. If it's going to be played at all, it'll be played in the spring of next year. We'll catch up with Scott Devereaux when we have Monday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Take to the air live and local at 7 a.m. on Monday. Have a great weekend. That goes for you too, Jefferson. Back at you.
That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories, other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website, NCWLIFE.com. Remember also, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. You can send us an email, news@ncwlife.com, or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Thank you for joining us. Please have a great weekend.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda Power Equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.